6/9 now. Didn't make any mistakes there, did we? Hey folks, welcome and welcome out there. We are so glad to have you today on T and Learn Mathline with us. Hey, it's a great day. It's summer school and I'm Ernie Roberts. I'm here to take you for the next 25-30 minutes and who knows what we're going to cover today? Oh, I know. And those who've read on Facebook, you know. Hey, by the way, reminders that while we are not live this summer, you can still send us questions via email, text us, and also, hey, Facebook is a great place to send us some comments and questions. We're always looking there. And we have one that's going to be addressed next week, not next year, but we're going to address it next week, about the order of operations. So I think we're going to do a little order of operations review show also. Hey, that's what summer school's about. Let's get some remediation done. Let's understand where we're going. And you know, we've been doing a lot of times tables lately. So what I'm going to ask you one more time today, get your pencils, get your papers, but today, no calculator. Let's see what we can do, all right? So let's see what we're all about today here on T and Learn Mathline Summer School. A quiz. Actually, maybe 7, 8 quizzes? Woo! Are you kidding me? It's summer school. It's summertime. We want to assess where you are. That word assessment. See what you need to work on. See what you know. See what you don't need to worry so much about. But also what you need to practice on and get into your head. The multiplication tables. Why am I focused on this? We've done a lot of shows here on these lately. And why do I do that? Because it's the root of all evil, or it's the root of all math. Because if you don't know the multiplication tables, it makes it so much harder to work fractions. Obviously, it makes it harder to do division. If you can't multiply, you've got to be able to do that to divide. It also makes your decimals go easier, percents, algebra when you get there. Oh my goodness, if you can do a lot of that in your head, know those facts. It's amazing. It's amazing how much more you can do in a smooth fashion in math problems, okay? So very important, very important. That Common Core says by the end of the 4th grade, you should know them. You should know your multiplication facts. I call them times tables, multiplication facts, but you should know them up, down, left, and right. No more singing Kumbaya and counting 9 sevens or things like that. You know 9 times 7, 63. But anyway, today we're going to assess that. Now, I already feel like everybody out there knows how to multiply by 1. You multiply 1 times any number, you get that number back, all right? I also believe everybody knows how to multiply by 2. You simply double. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3, in other words, double the 3, you get 6. Double the 8, you'd get 16. You get the idea. Double 100, you get 200. Those you could do mentally. No matter how hard they are. But we're going to start with the 3s, and I'm going to bet majority of you all can triple things and even quadruple them, and I definitely feel like most of you will know your 5s. But we're going to check. What we're going to do, we're going to give you a list. Let's go ahead and look at my first list of numbers here, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to call them out, and I want you to write them as I call them out. Also, you can look at these and see, all right, and put down what you've got. We will give you, I'll call them out, then we're going to go back and fill them in. So as I go, write it down. In other words, you shouldn't have to think about it at all. That's what we want you to do. But bang, bang, bang. First one, 3 times 7. You got it? How about it? Next one, 3 times 10. 3 times 5, 3 times 4, 3 times 12, 3 times 9, 3 times 6, 3 times 11, and 3 times 8. Now those are the 3s, and I'm going to willing to almost wager the majority, not maybe all of you, but most all of you probably got all of those correct and didn't have to think much at all about them, okay? Because you're watching Mathline in the summer. But however, this is something that where you mess up or where you didn't know them, this is where you want to write it down, that paper, all right? And we'll write down the answers here in just a second, but take a note on it, all right? And correct them and get them in your head, practice on them. That's where you need to practice. The others, you got them, okay? Just keep them. But the others need to practice on, work a little harder. So let's take a look at it. 3 times 7, let's go for it. 21, folks, there you go. Check along with me. 3 times 10, 30. That one's easy also, isn't it? 3 times 5, most of you know those 5s, 15. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 12, a little bit up there, but hey, that's like 3 feet, right? 12 inches in a foot, that's 36. Anything that'll help you remember. 3 times 9, go with it, 27. 3 times 6, back over here, 18. 3 times 11, I get a 33. And 3 times 8, 24. Now, any of those that you didn't have, write them down right now. Okay, take care of it back home, all right? This is your chance. So what we're doing this is so you learn and you will make, you'll make your life easier on you next fall when you go back to school, knowing all these numbers, knowing all these things in your head, bam, all right? Next ones, we're going to move up the ladder. Let's go to the 4s. Let's go to the 4s, all right? Again, I'm going to call them out to you. You write down the answers or do them in your head, all right? I hope you're able to do them in your head and you can remember. But it's nice to write them down because then you can check when we go back through and say, oh, I thought I knew that, but I really don't, all right? So let's look at it. 4 times 7. 4 times 10. 4 times 5. 4 times 4. 4 times 12. 4 times 9. 4 times 6. Everybody there? 4 times 11. And last but not least, 4 times 8. Check your answers. Let's see what we're supposed to have, all right? Again, no calculators allowed. Some of you are like, "But I get to punch on my calculator?" No, 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 none of you punch it on the calculator. Punch this calculator. Brain, punch your brain. That's what's going on there. Let's see what we've got here. 4 times 7, I'm going to go with 28. 4 times 10, how about it? 40. Simply bring the 4 and the 0 over. 4 times 5, we all seem to know our 5s pretty well, but just in case, we got a 20 going there, all right? 4 times 4, let's go to 16. 4 times 12, getting up there now, aren't we? Close to 50, but not quite there. How about it? 48. 4 times 9, 36 again. 36 is a popular number when you multiply. Have you noticed that? As is 4 times 6, which is 24. 4 times 11. How about it? Be 44. And then 4 times 8, last but not least, 32. Make your checks. Write down, once again, take a moment here, write down the ones that didn't work out right for you, and make sure you can learn those, all right? Those are the ones you practice on. Those are the ones you work on. And as I said, I think it's important to know all the way through the 12s, all right? A lot of people stop at the 9s, but there's not that much more. So we're going to find out at the end if you go beyond the 12s. 12s are usually pretty easy to do, all right? So that's our story. That's our story down Mathline. Folks, we're checking, we're assessing. We're going to see what you need to work on. This is a self-assessment. You are the ones who are going to be honest with yourselves. What do you need to work with, all right? I have no idea because all of you are at different points, different places. Some of you can do these things cold. I hope you can. Play with us all the way because we got quite a few more to go through, all right? Let's take a look at our next level. The ones I think were always popular because, you know, we used to count by 5 when we played hide and seek or needed to do things. Counting by 5s were really fun, all right? You say, really, Ernie? They really were when you were younger. You may not think so much about it as you got older, but when you were young, it was a big deal when you could count to 100 by 5s, all right? So let's take a look at these. I'm going to call them out and let you have a minute to work with them and see how quickly you can think of those. Also, for some of you who struggle with the 5s, think about your money. Nickels, nickels. I'm going to ask you how many like 7 nickels would be, all right? Because the first one is 5 times 7. 5 times 7. Next one, 5 times 10. 5 times 5. 5 times 4. 5 times 12. 5 times 9. 5 times 6. 5 times 11. And last but not least, that 5 times 8. All right, everybody had a chance to write some good answers down real quickly. No calculators, remember. Those of you just now tuning in, we're drilling math multiplication facts today, all right? The basics, and see where you are and see what you need to pick up before fall, all right? How about it? 5 times 7, we'll go with 35. Because that's correct. That's like 7 nickels. Remember what I said? 5 cents times 7, you got 35 cents. Well, in this case, you got 35. 5 times 10, pretty easy. We always love those 10s. They're easy to work with, 50. 5 times 5, wow, how about it? 25. That's when we say 5 squared, all right? 5 times 4, you know, it's the same thing as 4 times 5. That's the infamous commutative property with the T in the middle there, commutative. And it's going to be 20, just like 4 times 5 was 20. 5 times 12, oh, we're getting bigger numbers now, aren't we, folks? How about it? 60. 60 is where we're going there. If you're 5 feet tall, it's 60 inches, all right? That's so easy. That's why we need to know the 12s, because inches and feet work so well there. 5 times 9, go with it, 45. 5 times 6, give you a big 30. 5 times 11, double nickel. How about it? 5, 5, 55, yes. And then 5 times 8, we're wrapping up on this list. Go with 40. Take a quick check on that. Whichever ones you're having trouble and struggling with, write them down, make a little note, and play with those, practice those, okay, over the next few days, weeks, and you'll be ready when fall comes. Fall is August, you know now. So, by the way, we will be returning with live call-in shows coming in the second week of August, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, we're going to do remediation, summer school style here on T and Learn Mathline, and hopefully have you guys and ladies ready for the start of the school year. It's what we're about. It's what we're about. All right. Now, we're starting to move into some of the places where it gets a little bit more difficult for some of us. All right. So let's take a look at our multiplication facts for the 6s. All right. Here we go. First of all, as I call them out to you, folks, write the answer down. Again, no calculator. No calculator. No, no, no. All right. How about 6 times 7? First one. 6 times 10. 6 times 5. Some of you are saying, didn't we have that a minute ago? Yeah, you did. You had 5 times 6, didn't you? So see, when we start using that commutative property, there's not as many facts you have to really memorize. 6 times 4. 6 times 12. 6 times 9. 6 times 6. 6 times 11. And 6 times 8. There you go. All right. Give you a second there. Everybody getting last minute finishing touches. Just have pencil, no calculator, remember, just pencil, and use this calculator, that computer in your brain, all right? Because it's a wonderful place to work, all right? Let's see what we have. 6 times 7, it's got a little new one, but if you've been watching the last few shows, you know, hey, that is 42. And hopefully you got a little practice on that. 6 times 10, mental math all the way. You can just look at that and say, that's going to give us 60 right there. 60 is a popular number when we multiply also out there in the world, okay? So a big deal. We get a lot of numbers that will multiply. Factors of 60, there are quite a few. 6 times 5, like I said a minute ago, same thing we had a minute ago, 5 times 6, and it's still going to be 30. So you notice once we pick up in this set of numbers, a lot of those you've already had. 6 times 4 we've already had. It's 24. Commutative property allows us to go from 4 times 6 or 6 times 4. Same thing. Now, 6 times 12 a little bit different, but you know what? I'm 6 feet tall. Some of you wonder, how tall are you, Ernie? Some of you probably say, who cares? But I'm 6 feet tall, and that's 12 inches per foot. So this is my height. So that's important to me. 72 inches, or in this case, just 72. 6 times 9, sometimes we tend to get that one twisted and mangled a little bit. It is 54, not 56, as we're so inclined to sometimes think. It is 54. Now 6 times 6, here we go. That's 6 squared for those of you who like to use squared in your language. There you go, 36. And 6 times 11, put a 66 right there. And last but not least, 6 times 8 is another one of those times tables some of us forget about, just like that 6 times 9. If we drop 6 off of there, we're at 48, but hopefully it's just in your head. 6 times 8 will give you 48. So again, take a quick check on those numbers. Select those that were difficult. If you got 100% on those, you got all 9 of them correct, awesome. If you missed just 1 or 2, not bad. You can learn those. Those are easy to learn. That just means that's what you focus on, just like you focus on. Whenever you're saying a play or learning a play, all the lines, you get the lines over. You keep reviewing, but once you get to the point, man, I'm about to get it all, get to all. It's those last few practice times you go like, yes, I've got it, I've got it. And that's the same way I want you to feel on your 6s. And the next minute, guess where we're going? After 6, what comes after 6, folks? It's the number 7. So let's go on and let's see where we're going to go with that. All right, back to me. There you are. And again, those of you just tuning in, we're practicing today. We're assessing, actually. So as you write the answers, as I call out the numbers, their multiplication, and then we'll check them. All right, so that's what's going to happen. Let's take a look at the 7s, the multiplication facts for 7s. And again, there are 9 of them each time because we're not doing the 1s and the 2s, right? And in this case, it looks like we're not doing the 3's either, all right? In fact, we let the 3's go away on this one, it looks like. I don't see 7 times 3 popping up there. So let's see where we are, all right? How about it? 7 times 7 is your first one. 7 times 10. 7 times 5. Yep, you've already seen 5 times 7. How about it? 7 times 4 as well as 4 times 7. So those should be coming easier. Ooh, here we go. Got to think a little. 7 times 12. 7 times 9. Another one of those that we drilled quite a bit if you've been looking at our past shows here. There's 7 times 6. I hope you get it right this time. 7 times 11. And last but not least, a troublemaker for some of us. 7 times 8. Go ahead, take your numbers there. Again, work your numbers out, write them down, and we're going to check. See if you're 100% on the 7s, all right? Starting off with, right up here in the corner, 7 squared. Wow, let's pick it up and roll. 7 times 7, it's going to give us 49. 7 times 10, go to 70. 7 times 5 and 5 times 7, commutative property running rampant for us here. There we go, 35. How about it? 7 times 4 and 4 times 7 gives us the same value. We've already been there. Still 28, not going to change. That's why we call them facts. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. 7 times 12. Well, here comes the one we got to think a little bit on. 7 feet tall? Not many of those, but they come in at 84 inches if they've made it that tall. There's a few, very, very few out there. Few and far between. 7 times 9. Remember I said sometimes that can be a difficult one. It's one we haven't seen yet on the show today, but we've used a lot of practice if you've been watching earlier. 63 it is. 63. 7 times 6, same thing as 6 times 7. Sometimes that's difficult for students to remember. It is 42. 7 times 7, let's go to 77. That one works really nice because of the ones there. And then 7 times 8, I said sometimes people get that confused with 6 times 9, which was on our other page. But this one actually does give us 56. So check your numbers, go ding, 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 and I hope you got another 100%. If not, write down the ones that gave you trouble, all right? And go back and learn those, okay? Have those in your head and let your teachers marvel at you come fall, all right? Your math teachers especially. All right, you know what's coming. We're going up the ladder. We've gone from the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, the 7s. Now let's go to the 8s. So let's take a look at these and see what's happening. Starting with, and let you work these out, my friends. Use a computer up in your brain. No calculators for those of you just joining us. 8 times 7, starting right off there, okay? 8 times 10. 8 times 5. 8 times 4. Ooh, big stuff now. 8 times 12. 8 times 12. 8 times 9. 8 times 6. Hey, that's the same thing as 6 times 8. So you got that other one right. You should get this one right, right? Yes, sir. 8 times 11. And last but not, 8 squared. 8 times 8. Take a second there. Fill in your answers. Get your numbers going there. Everybody feeling good, I hope. Let's check them out. Hey, we started right off the bat where we ended up, didn't we? We had 8 times 7 here. We had 7 times 8 on the other page. How about it? Still 56. Commutative property working for you. 8 times 10, given an 80. 8 times 5, same thing as 5 times 8. Notice we're starting to get repetitious, aren't we? But that's good. Means you can do it twice. Get them right twice. I hope you did. 8 times 4, same thing as 4 times 8. How about it? 32. 8 times 12, that's a newbie. That's a newbie for us. Almost 100, but not quite. We'll come a little bit short at 96, all right? 8 times 9, that's one of those that, when I was learning these things, I always was getting up there thinking, wow, 8 times 9 or 9 times 8, it's 72, all right? It's 72. Another number that has a lot of factors that will divide into that number evenly. Those are some of the nice things about some of these numbers. They really have a lot of divisibility. And let's see, how about it? 8 times 6, we mentioned that was 6 times 8, go 48. 8 times 11, that one's easy. Put an 8 and an 8 together, 88. And 8 squared, 8 times 8. It's so good to know those perfect squares when you get there. 64, they'll help you out when you get some geometry and also some algebra working for you and you're squaring numbers and you go like, that's times tables. It exactly is. That's your multiplication facts in application form, all right? There we go. So I hope you got them. Hope you got 100% on the 8s. Again, mark down the ones that you need help on. Practice those between now and start of school. How about it? Let's look at our next ones. The nines. This is where we start getting like, whoo, we're getting somewhere. Well, we've been getting somewhere all the way along. But you start to realize everything we've covered almost, except maybe 2 or 3 of these, but even those out of those, they're pretty easy, aren't they? So let's take a look. First of all, let me call them out and you work them out. 9 times 7. 9 times 10. 9 times 5. 9 times your 4. 9 times 12. 9 squared, or 9 times 9. There you go. 9 times 6. Does that look familiar? Yes. Just commutative property for 6 times 9, isn't it? 9 times 11. Jump on that one. And last but not least, the one that sometimes people go, ooh, 9 times 8. You got it right on the other page. You should get it right on this page. So really, only 1, 2, 3, 4 of these are newbies. Only 4 of these are newbies for you. Okay, so take a minute to work through those 9 problems. Let's see if we're up to 100% again. All right, take a look at those and take a look at those, and we'll put some answers up there. By the way, a little hint, once we cross this 9 times 11, that's at 99. I'm going to go ahead and stick that one in there. You realize we finally crossed the 100 mark right there with 9 times 12. It's going to be higher, obviously. Let's see how much. We'll see in just a second, all right? Let's go through our facts here. Again, remember I said 7 times 9 looks familiar? Certainly does. 63 is your answer there. There's your response. 9 times 10. All you got to do is make a 90 out of that. 90's also got a lot of factors that we'll go into to divide into that number 90 evenly. 9 times 5, well, that's half of that, isn't it? 45. 45. 9 times 4, or 4 times 9, we're back to that 36. And I told you earlier, that's a number that has a lot of factors that will divide in there evenly. 9 times 12, whoa, we said we're going over the 100 mark. How about it? 108. There's one you might need to remember. 9 times 9, or 9 squared, you got a big old 81. 81. 9 times 6, same thing as 6 times 9. How about it? Give it a 40, not a 45. Let's switch those digits. 54. All right. And then last but not least, our 9 times 8. We come up with 72. Now, with the exception of 99, I want you to notice just a little tidbit. This is an FYI. Notice that if you add the digits for each of these, they will add up to 9. How about that? These will add up to 18, which, by the way, is divisible by 9. So again, when you look at numbers, any kind of numbers here, and you can add the digits, and they sum up to a multiple of 9. That means like 9, 18, 27. That means they're divisible by 9. So you may not always have the times table staring at you, all right? Check those off. Hopefully you're at 100%. And we got just a few small ones to run through here. Maybe we can get those up here. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at our leftovers, the ones we haven't really covered yet, because everything else we've used by commutative property. So let's work these out real quickly here. You got 10 times 10. I bet everybody can get that one. 12 times 12. Ooh, sounds like a lot of squaring going on here. 11 times 12, or 12 times 11. 11 times 10. 12 times 10. And there's another one of those squares, 11 squared. Once again, those squares are important. Those are important to know your squares. When you square something, it's nice to know what 12 times 12 is, or 10 times 10, 11 times 11. Okay, everybody got answers? Because we're going to kick through these. We're getting close to the end of the show, and I'm hoping that some of you may be out there at 100% from start to finish today. That'll be great. That'll be great. Kudos to you. If you missed a few, you know what you got to do. If you missed a lot, take it in small portions. Go back and learn them piece by piece, a little bit at a time. Speaking of which, let's check these answers real quick. There's 6 of them this time. 100, think about that. 10 dimes gives you 100. 12 times 12, whew, that's 12 feet. It's a square foot, by the way. If you're looking at that being inches by inches, it's 144. All right. 11 times 12, drop it down a little bit from 144. How about it? 132. That's one you may not have known right off the top of your head. It's easy to remember. It's easy to remember. Just put an 11 and a 0, 110. How about it? There we go. 12 times 10, you get a 120 out of that. See with the 10s are so easy. You don't even have to worry about it. Those aren't difficult at all. Even the 11s, except for these last two, are very easy, all right? And here we go, 11 times 11, you got it? We're not going to mess up at the last minute, are we? 121. All right, there you go. Folks, those are all the times tables. Now, like I said, if you know them coming one way, you got them the other way because of commutative property. So go back, learn those facts that you don't know. If you got them all right, yes, congratulations, good job today. You've done some great work along the way. Third and fourth graders, you know, practice, practice, practice on those. That's where you learn them. Those you're beyond those, you're still struggling with them, keep practicing because they will make your fractions easier, make your decimals, make your division, make your algebra, make your geometry easier, make your math life easier. And you're going to have a lot of math between now and high school and on into college. So don't miss out on these. Learn these while you're at it. And you know what? We thank you for tuning in today as part of summer school. Keep checking us out on Facebook and texting us. We will see you tomorrow.